Hello, everybody, and welcome to Audrey Live. Today is Thursday, October 22nd, and we are here again on a great fall day. Just looking out my window and seeing some of those wonderful fall colors, and I'm sure many of you have the same, that you're looking out your window and it's just kind of a dreary day, but the fall colors sure perk up this time of year. So we have a great lineup for you today. I'm kind of calling it my UK show. We have Craig DeSouza from the UK, and also our surprise guest is Nikky Hall, and she's the owner of Polka Doodles, also from the UK. So we're really excited to have them. Nikky will be doing a demo, and we're having a conversation with Craig about the creative art industry, how things are changing, and kind of what's going on over on the other side of the pond. So stay tuned for so many wonderful things we have today. Make sure that you make comments and questions. This is where you can interact with our guests and interact with myself, and we'll kind of take a look at the feed as the show goes along. And if we're not able to get to you right away, we will get to you after the show with any of your questions, concerns. But we do hope that you will connect with us and join the conversation about what is going on in the industry. Also, make sure that you, if you're not able to watch the whole show, or that you perhaps, sorry, I lost my train of thought. If you are not able to watch the show or you want to watch it again, go to our YouTube channel, which is Pin It Canada, and all the shows will be there. Also, what's going to be there is our live Pin It Canada events. And tomorrow, Friday and Saturday, starting at noon Eastern, we have just a wonderful lineup of presenters, product demonstrations. It's going to be a great 2 afternoons. We did a rehearsal last night, and it's just really exciting. Some of the projects that all the presenters are going to be sharing with you. They have a lot of amazing door prizes, so you have to be watching and commenting and asking questions to be entered into the door prizes, as well as some show specials. So there's something there for everybody. Go to our Facebook pages, to the Pin It Canada Facebook page, and you will see there the entire schedule, who is scheduled at what time, what their presentation would be. So that way you can sit back and watch the whole 4 hours on Friday and 4 hours on Saturday. Or if you just have little bits of tidbits of time, you can take a look and see when things will be posted and watch at that point in time. So, and that will be on live on our Facebook page, Pin It Canada. We will project it onto our other 2 pages as well, just like we do this show. So it doesn't matter where you are within the 3 pages that we run, you will see the show. So one thing somebody has asked, or a couple of people have asked, is where do I get these scarves that kind of look like a necklace? So I thought, well, you know what? I'll share that. And actually, it's a perfect day to share it, because when I was in the UK, many of you know that my husband worked there for 2 years. So I spent quite a bit of time there and had gone to a lot of the craft shows and the creative shows that they have there. And I had gone to a booth, and this lady had these scarves, and she just showed so many different ways that you can wear them. So the one I have on is just a regular scarf. This one has one of these little end things on it. So I think they sell them here now that you can put them on your scarves, or so it's kind of like a magnet. See, so it kind of attaches, which is really neat. The one I have on is not like that. So what you do here, let's just stand up a minute, and you just twist. So twist, 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 twist. Just so that it's kind of, you can see it's kind of all twisted all the way. So your scarf, and it doesn't matter what type of scarf you have. And then you bring the 2 ends together and you let it spin. And then give it a couple extra little spins there. So now you can see it's all twisted. And then you take one end of your scarf and go through the hole. Okay, so through that hole, and then connect it. And there you go. You have your necklace. So you can do the same thing with a regular scarf. This one I don't have the ends on. So I do the exact same thing. And then I just take my ends and I tie them together like that. And that's the part that you put behind your head. So it's very easy. I will look for the link because this lady sold this style of scarf that has the little magnetic things at the end. And she had, oh my goodness, it must be 12 or 15 different ways for you to wear these scarves. And they're really, really neat. So I haven't looked at the video for a little bit. So I will do that and share that on the feed for you as well. So that you can take a look. All right, so today, let's just get right to it today because we're so excited of who we have on the show that I want to make sure that we get everything in and that we get all our discussions in and our demos in and things like that. So our first live guest today is Craig DeSouza. He's from the UK, as I said. He is the CEO and founder of the Creative Industry Association. With over 2 decades of direct industry exposure and knowledge, he has seen and been involved in numerous changes, significant successes, and of course, some failed ventures as well. He has gained so much knowledge, naturally developed a wide array of personal global contacts, some interesting experiences, and observed businesses developing and moving to reflect trends and consumer demand effectively. I met Craig actually in, I think it was in California at the AFCI many, many years ago. And then of course, when I was in the UK, I met him at the show there. And quite often we'd have a little chat and just thoroughly enjoyed my visits with Craig. So let's see, let's bring him on. There we are. Huh.
Hello.
Hello.
How are we doing?
Good, you're here. So thankful that you could make it today and be part of the show. Thank you so much, Craig.
Happy to be here, Audrey. Happy to be here. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thanks for inviting me.
And what's your weather like over there today?
It's been a bit dark, dark and windy today. So winter is definitely setting in, and it's getting darker earlier in the evenings and dark in the mornings. Which is
we're kind of
winter is definitely here.
Yeah, we're the same thing here. It's certainly a fall day. It's kind of wet. It's kind of cool, but it's the colors are there, and that's what we like in the fall time. You get a little bit of colors in the UK, changing of the leaves. Yeah.
Yes, autumnal, I think the word, and it's very nice. It's very dark oranges, dark browns, dark yellows. It's really quite nice. Yeah. It's far better when it snows. Obviously, I do like a good snowy season, but that's very far few between. I think over here it's either just really rainy or drizzly.
Yeah. Well, I know when I was in Wales, that's what they always said. If you had a sunny day, take advantage of it because it's rainy and dreary more often in Wales than nice weather. So
yes, it is. It is indeed.
It is. So where are you located in the UK? Just so people know.
So I'm located in a town called Colchester, which is in Essex, and that's about 50 miles east of London. For historians, Colchester is the oldest recorded town in Great Britain, and it used to be the capital of England in the Roman times. It has every time they dig and put new houses, they're finding Roman artifacts and buildings. They discovered about 3 years ago the largest amphitheatre outside of Rome, and an amphitheatre is where they do all the chariots and chariot racing and stuff like that. So that's quite cool. So it's steeped in a lot of history. We've got a big castle, and it is very nice actually. I do enjoy living here, and I've lived here all my life. In one form or another. So it's been good. It's a lovely place.
I do miss the castles. I know we actually tried to see as many as we possibly could and didn't even get close to it, but just magnificent. The scenery. We definitely will get over there again because there's lots of things that we didn't see when Peter was there. But just really enjoyed a lot of the history and the buildings and the old buildings. Just amazing. So yeah, nice place to live.
It is good. It is good. It's not too bad. Not too bad. But Canada's a lovely place as well, isn't it?
It's a very, yes, we love Canada, and yeah, it's a wonderful place to live. We're very huge. We're very large. A lot of people come here and think that they can, come on vacation and see all of Canada, and they don't get through one province.
No, that is true.
Yeah. So how did you get involved in the creative art industry? And how long have you been involved, and how did you get involved?
Sure. Yeah. I've actually been involved in the creative craft and hobby industry for just over 2 decades. So basically most of a good chunk of my half of my adult working life. And I started on a trade publication, selling advertising space, then onto consumer publications and consumer websites and consumer forums. And I did that for about 9 years. And then I was heavily involved with HIA and ACCA, which then formed into CHA. I was heavily involved in doing roundtables and discussions with them when they came over to the UK. And they asked me to get involved in an association, so I did that. And my skill set is the knowledge of the industry, but also connections with people. I know a fair amount of people within the industry, so I've got a good connection base, and generally to help people, which is what an association should be doing. So I've run an association and now really started Creative Industry Association to try to do things differently, which is, as an association, I'm meant to be making sure that I'm connecting, informing and inspiring businesses and creative professionals to become better. And the way that I do that is by having conversations with them. I have conversations with all my members every day, every week, but making sure that we talk on a one-to-one basis and plan what they need to do and how they need to get there, really kind of focusing and honing on what their unique information that they need and unique help that they need. So that's my skill set within the industry. That's been built over these 2 decades, and hopefully it puts me in good stead. And especially with everything else that's going on in the world at the moment, it really helps to talk to someone, and that's what the association's here for.
And how do you do that? Like at this point in time, it's difficult for so many different businesses. How are you helping the businesses and the industry to cope through this COVID pandemic that we're going through? That is just so new for all of us, right?
Yeah, what are we? We're 213 days into this pandemic, which has completely turned the industries, how we shop, how we communicate, how we access information, how we live, how we survive. It's completely turned it on its head, and it's new and it's scary, and we can't really make light of it, of the people that have lost loved ones, and it is very, very serious. But actually, it's also a really exciting time for businesses, because it's enabled them to change. And one of the things in business and with anything, we're always fearful of change and changing stuff. We always do things because we've always done it, or it's always worked that way, and we're very fearful of making a change. But what these last 213 days have done for a lot of businesses is actually forced them to change. And what we're doing as an association is talking to people and helping to manage that change and what they need to do, and understand that change is good, change is a positive thing, and it helps them reevaluate how we now connect and inform and inspire people, whether they're businesses, customers, crafters, and stuff like that. So it's getting them to understand how they change and what they can do. So that's been one of the biggest things that we've done over the last months during this, and we continue to do that, helping them make these changes, really try to make them plan, not kind of 6 months out, but now it's about planning 3 weeks and 4 weeks. What are your next 3 weeks? Who are you targeting? Why are you targeting? Where are you targeting? Because it's all changed now. You know, as you know, with Audrey Lives and the fantastic Pin It Canada that's coming up, it's all now virtual. For now, and I say for now because the creative industry lives and breathes by this see, feel, touch community vibe. We all love to see stuff. We all love to touch things, and we all love that community that events and workshops and demonstrations give us. So that's never gonna go away. That will come back again. But for now, what we have to do is do things virtually and communicate with people virtually. And we've found that a lot of people now are becoming more aware and used to using Zoom and online shopping and online communications and connectivity. So it's a great learning curve. But that's what we have to do right now. So it's all changing. And again, it will change in 21 as well.
Yeah, exactly. Now, can you think of any story or any success story, I guess, so to speak, for an example, a business, how they've really taken, you know, what they had before and changed things up and are being successful at it?
Yeah, there's numerous ones. I think that one of the difficult ones is, how can I compete with online shopping? Because again, with online shopping, it's very, very difficult to compete. The only thing that most independent retailers or shops can compete on is possibly price. So what can I do to achieve that? We managed a member about 3 or 4 months ago and actually took that model and now are coaching other members to do exactly the same thing. And that is, if you have a website or if you have a bricks and mortar and it's closed down or whatever it might be, get a map, put a pin in the middle of that map and draw 5 kilometers, 10, 15, 20 kilometers or miles, and circle it. And that's your catchment area. And what you can actually do is do either online click and collect or online delivery service, because it's not too far away from your home. And now there's a number of businesses that we've coached to do that are doing very well and are now serving their community, because it's now changed their model. They haven't got customers coming into the shops, but they've got customers ringing up first thing in the morning or in the evening, or placing orders online that they can then go and deliver in the afternoon, because it's not too far. It's, again, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 miles or kilometers out of their catchment area. And that's what they're doing. They're just starting to change their business model.
That's a great idea. Yeah.
You know, so it is really just, it's very difficult, but it's really important for people to talk to either an association or somebody that can help them, that isn't embedded in their business, but is looking from the outside in, that can come up with some of these ideas that helps. Other ones are, you know, online workshops. How are they doing those? Well, rather than doing it en masse, you could actually do one-to-one online workshops, charge a little bit more, but because that one person is getting a one-to-one with yourself, with an expert, and they don't mind buying into that, rather than trying to squeeze 4 or 5 people onto an online course, because that's quite, now, especially online, especially Zoom, it can be quite difficult if you're trying to manage 3 or 4 or 5 different people. So those are kind of different. It takes a little bit more time, but it is definitely worth it. So there are a number of different things that people can do. But like I said, it's just taking time now, just to take a step back, plan what you need to do, what you need to make in terms of money, and how you can communicate with your audience. Where are they? What are they doing? And you'll find that you can be very successful still doing that.
Yeah, good. And from a consumer's point of view, because of course a lot of our viewers are consumers. So what can they do right now to really try to encourage these businesses. Because I mean, the last thing we want to do is to have, as many have already, businesses that have closed down. But I mean, we're not through this yet. We want to help these businesses. We want to encourage them. As a consumer, what can I do to, work with these businesses to keep them going?
Yeah, it's now a consumer driven industry. Any industry now, the consumer power is phenomenal because they've now got access to so much information, content, inspiration right at the end of their fingertips. But as a consumer, really, I encourage them to ask their local store, work out who they're buying product from, why are they buying that product from. Also ask questions of what else can I get from you? That, i.e., like if you buy from a local craft store or a local shop, you're going to get a better customer service because they are an individual business and they care about you. Ask about, do they do other online classes and can you get involved in those online classes? Because again, as a retailer, independent retailer, they want to help you. So consumers have really got a really good power, but actually ask. Sometimes, if you're like me, you'll Google stuff, and Google doesn't always give you the best answer. It kind of gives you a range of answers, a range of products that you may well be looking for. So check out your local store, whoever that might be. There's going to be one near you. Check them out, find out their website, follow them on Facebook, and ask them questions. And you'll find that most often than not, businesses are so much more responsive now because they know that they want to try to retain your business. They will help you. So consumers have got such a great power. And I implore you to please shop local. Please support your local businesses because they need you as much as you need them. Because if you don't do that, you'll only be shopping at big box stores that will dictate the price to you and sell you stuff that you probably don't want.
Yeah.
So consumers do have a big part to play in this, and all they need to do is ask questions of the retailers.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, I think right now I'm going to bring on Nikki. We have a second live guest here today. Fantastic. And let me just see if I can find her. Where is she? There we are. I have two Nikkys. I'll have to see what's going on here. We'll bring one on first. Oh, I see why. There we go. Nikky. There we are. Hi, Nikky.
That's definitely Nikki's hands. Oh, there's Nikki's face as well.
Hi.
Welcome.
Twice. You've got me twice.
I've got you twice. Yeah, that's fine. Anyway, I was going to say, Nikky Hall, you are the owner of Polka Doodles. Is that right? Is that how you pronounce it?
That's right, yeah.
Polka Doodles, which was formed in May 2009. And you started paper crafting, but struggled to find product that catered for your tastes. So you decided to make your own.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, you have to go for it. And after sending samples to a TV craft shopping channel, you were on two months later, you were on showcasing Polka Doodles to the national audience on TV. That's amazing.
Yeah, it was a little scary. It was a very fast journey that was very unexpected. But yeah, it was great. Yeah.
Wonderful. So how long have you been in the industry, and what inspired you to be part of the industry?
I actually started paper crafting properly back in 2000. And that was through a TV shopping channel. I was kind of off sick from work one day, and I actually saw lying on the sofa, nothing to do, feeling sorry for myself. So I just turned it on, and I was kind of like, oh, I didn't know you could get all this stuff. I've always been creative. My mum is very creative, so I was always brought up in that environment. And so I just bought a kit to see what it was like, and the instant it arrived, I was just hooked. And it's, yeah, and so that was way back in 2000. And at the time, I'd kind of just started a new job, and I went in on the Monday morning, and you know, kind of my colleague said, "Oh, what were you doing?" And I said, "Oh no, it's embarrassing. I don't really want to tell you." And so she kind of wheedled it out of me, and made me actually take some of the cards I'd made in. And at which point, my boss, I'd only actually been working there for about 2.5 weeks, and my boss actually walked in and saw them and came over and said, "Oh my God, what are you doing? I wish you'd brought these in yesterday. I went into a shop the other day and spent a huge amount of money on birthday cards. Put these in the kitchen and I'll tell everyone to come and buy them." And it was just wow. And literally from there, everyone just wanted to buy all of these cards. So I ended up with a car boot full of cards. And there was hundreds in this boot, and they just used to come and get my car keys at break times and just leave the money on my desk. And it was such a good earner. It was great. It was a great income. And then from there, I then had a couple of shops that actually approached me and wanted to stock my cards. And more or less at the same time, I decided, I was trying to find a craft class and I couldn't. So I decided to set my own up. And that kind of again happened really quickly. And so sort of within about a month of me making cards, I was actually teaching other people to do it, which was just crazy when I look back. And then it's just developed, and my husband and I decided in 2006 to open a shop. So we did that for a couple of years. Unfortunately, we opened at the wrong time. It was the big 2007 recession hit us quite badly. And so we kind of closed the shop. But at the time, because we were doing a lot of classes in the shop, a lot of I couldn't actually get enough product for all of the classes. I used to do about 4 or 5 classes a week at one point. Wow. And so I couldn't get enough product to teach classes. So especially papers, backing papers, I couldn't find it. It was, I couldn't get the stuff that I wanted. I didn't like it. I liked all the American scrapbooking kind of style, and I couldn't get that here readily in the UK. So just purely, you know, to teach my class, I started designing papers and just literally printing them out on a little inkjet printer, and they all loved them and then wanted to buy them. And then it was, you've got to put these in the shop, and that is how it started. So yeah, it was all kind of accident. You know, you kind of feel like you're in the right place at the right time for everything to happen sometimes. But yeah, and it's been quite a journey. Yeah.
Well, it's funny when you say a boot sale. I can remember when I was over in the UK and we saw a sign, and it's like, it was in the middle of a field, and there's a sign that says boot sale. And I said to my husband, I'm like, what are they selling boots there? Like, you just have to drive in? So maybe Craig, you can explain to everybody what a boot sale is.
I absolutely love a boot sale. Absolutely love it. It's there's a saying, Nikki, correct me if I'm wrong, there's a saying, one man's rubbish is another man's treasure. And that is basically what a car boot sale is. It's all the stuff that you do not want in your house, and you put it on a table or from the back of your car, which is the boot. Yeah. And you display it and you sell it. And you know, there've been some great stories of people finding real gems and bought it for 10p and sold it for millions of pounds. I've never been that lucky, but car boot sales are great fun. Absolutely love a good car boot sale, me.
Yeah. Well, that's what I know. My husband said, no, they actually all just drive in, they open their trunks, and they sell their junk from the trunk.
Yeah, junk from I think that better. Junk from the trunk. That's
junk
better.
From the trunk.
We should change it, Craig. We should start a movement.
Junk from the trunk. The problem is, Nikki, junk from the trunk means so many other things here in the UK.
Yeah.
So we have to be really, really careful.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. So between the two of you, what do you see as like trends, or what's, you know, in the global creative art industry, what is trendy right now? What are people doing? What is, you know, attracting in the creative industry, the consumers? Maybe Nikki, we'll have you go first if you like.
I think that the way, what I kind of see at Polka Doodles, we have, obviously we have our UK customers here, but we actually sell worldwide, and a huge amount of our customers are actually overseas, particularly in the States and in Canada as well. And those customers want different things generally to what we do in the UK. So UK wise, and I think Europe as well, we're very much into mixed media. So that's really the biggest trend right now, I would say, that people are kind of just pushing themselves a little bit further. And I think where mixed media can be quite scary for a lot of people, you know, because it's seen as very kind of arty, and there are some amazing kind of mixed media artists out there and some amazing mixed media companies. But what we do is try and break that down and make it very easy and bring it more into card making, which I think is a little bit more accessible for a lot of people. But certainly I think in the States and Canada, the trend that the big trend that I see right now is all of the little tiny cute characters, scene building with those characters, which is great. That's kind of my cup of tea. I absolutely love all that cute. I love it all, to be honest. You know, it depends what day it is. But yeah, there's definitely, you know, that whole cute and going to these little tiny little minuscule characters, and the biggest trend that I'm seeing right now, which is really nice to see actually, is that the long slimline cards are back in fashion, and those were what I started out with, you know, way back in 2000. You know, I was using the long cards and doing them landscape, and that's very much back in vogue. So it's quite nice how everything does come back round again. So this is our excuse, isn't it, as crafters, why we never get rid of anything, because we know it'll come back in fashion.
It'll come back.
Yeah.
And Craig, what do you see in 2021? What can you project perhaps for us in the industry?
You know, it's really interesting, Nikki, talking about the long cards and the stamps and the caricatures, and the paper side of things. But obviously there's soft crafts, there's cake decorating, there's mixed media, there's fine art. What we have seen over the last 213 days is that kits and things that are letterboxed size that can fit into a postbox, into a letterbox, have worked very, very well. And more and more people, not general crafters, have been buying these kits because they're easy to take at home to do. They've got everything in there, and that consumer might be a one-off purchaser. And I think what you'll see in 21 will be more retailers and the industry looking at those one-off purchase people and doing those types of kits. That's not to say we're still going to have a very good core crafters and craft consumers that they're going to grow. But I think, and Nikki, correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of crafters will now try absolutely everything now. They're gonna, if they're a card maker, they're gonna do scrapbooking. If they're a scrapbooker, they're gonna try to do sewing. If they're sewing, they're gonna try knitting. So as to what the trends are going to be, I know that there's been mention of macrame is hot, sewing is hot, cake decorating is hot. I think at the moment it's going to be a mixed bag of stuff, because people are going to try absolutely everything and anything now, as long as they can get it and it's accessible for them.
Yeah.
So 21, and the good thing about this is again, 21 is going to be really interesting, because all of those, what's happened in the industry is that consumer shows and trade events have stopped. They're all going virtual, which is really disappointing for consumers to go and stuff like that. Yeah. But those businesses that were meant to be going to those events have saved a lot of money by not going. And hopefully, if they have that money and that extra kind of buffer, they might invest in that to invest in other products and innovation and stuff. So hopefully 21 will see in the industry new things being developed, new ideas, new techniques, new products, new brands, and all of these things, which then makes it quite exciting. So I think 21 is going to be very good. But for trends, I still think it's going to be those kit-sized, letterbox-sized products. And that could be absolutely anything that businesses will go for.
Perfect. Well, maybe Nikki, what are you going? We'll get to a demo here. I think people are just itching to see somebody be creative. So I think what we do have to do, though, we're going to have to turn the audio on your demo and turn the audio off on you, because when I pin it, whoever's talking, that's who pops up. So if you can just switch your audio on with the demo and off if you can. And you are going to demonstrate.
Sorry.
There we go.
Are we there?
Perfect. There we go. You're going to demonstrate something for us called stamp soup, which sounded very interesting. I'm just going to pin you there so that I can see myself on your screen. That's very interesting. Can you get a little closer to your demo?
I'm right in my demo. Oh, hang on. Let me leave this one. Let me leave this. Is that better?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, there we go. Let me get rid of that now. Okay, and then we're not getting confused. Okay, so I can only see you up here now. So I hope that you can see everything okay.
We can see everything fine, and if there's any problems, I will tell you.
Okay, great. Okay, so I wanted to show everyone this concept that we call stamp soup. And basically, it kind of crosses over. It's very much sort of paper crafting, card making, but it can be whatever you want it to be. And the whole idea about soup is that we're giving you a recipe, all the ingredients to make your own recipes. So anything goes with this. And it's very much about being able to look at something and know that, and to actually see what you want to see within it. So there's no boundaries. The only limit here is actually your own imagination. So these are actually stamps. So we always make clear stamps here. So these are our two latest sets. These have been out a couple of months now, but I just thought it was a really nice demo and I really wanted to show it. So on the packaging, can you see that? Okay, it's very difficult. I've got about an inch of screen to see where I'm doing. I'm trying to look up. So on the packaging, we try and give you some ideas on here, but you will actually see that these stamps are quite unusual. So you kind of look at them and you think, oh my gosh, what is that? Because you've got all these kind of weird shapes. There's some that you can definitely see are flowers. You've got hearts. You've got kind of circles and lots of scrolls and things like that. And the whole idea is that these are builders. So you're going to actually build lots of different things and whatever you can think of with this. And it really opens up your own imagination and it helps you to actually look at things in a completely different way. So for instance, I'm going to show you what we're actually going to make is this beautiful card. So this was all actually made with just a few stamps. This looks incredibly difficult, but it's not. It's really easy. So I'm just going to throw it straight in there. So I've already got all my stamps laid out because we've not got a huge amount of time. So I'm going to use the VersaFine ink pad, because I want to actually watercolor with these. And you can see here that I've kind of got a line here. And then we've got kind of weird shapes here. So this is a petal shape, or it could be a butterfly wing. And it's literally about you looking at what you can actually make from that. So I think I'm going to start out with this one. And I've just got a little, we call this an A6, but it's a 4x6 piece of watercolor card. And I'm just going to twist that round and stamp that. And immediately, you know, you could see that if you carried on, you could actually make flowers, but we're not going to do that. So I have another stamp here, which is kind of like this curve, and it's got a little nick on the end. And I'm going to just create this over the top, and straight away you can start to see what's actually going to happen. We've got another one here, which is a circle with another couple of circles inside it. And now we can actually start to create some eyes. And this is what's fabulous, because this could actually be the center of a flower. It can be a at the top of a mushroom. It can be so many different things. Now, this is where it starts to get really fun. So we've got this lovely sort of scroll thing going on here. It's kind of like a curly scroll. And I actually designed this to kind of go around these eyes. And it just makes the most fantastic kind of design. And as I said, the only limit here is what you want to do with it. So you can go as much or as little as you want. There's actually another stamp that actually matches that, and you can actually make those both join together as well, but I'm not going to on this occasion. So these kind of follow the contour of that petal shape, and you can actually kind of really outline those eyes and everything there. Now I'm going to go back to this. It's like a wavy line here, and with this one, because these are polymer, you can actually shape and bend these. So I'm just going to bend it a little in the middle, and we're going to actually create, that's going to create our chin here. And this particular stamp, this is a real favorite of mine. I'm going to show you this one. So this was actually designed as a leaf. Can you see that okay? Is it zoomed in enough?
Yes, it is. Yeah. I mean, you can bring it in a little bit closer if it's possible.
Okay. I can't get my camera any lower. We've had a bit of a nightmare. Can you see that one?
Yeah, okay. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yes.
So it's actually designed as a leaf, but the way that I designed these is that they're quite sketchy, and that's done on purpose because it means that everything is open to interpretation. And the other thing that I love is that when it's done sketchy, it actually makes it look like you've actually created this yourself and that you've hand drawn it. And that's part of the, I think that's part of the key to the success of this range. So that leaf now, though, is also a mouth, and it was actually purposely created to be able to actually make a mouth as well. And then to make a nose, all I would do, I just don't have a black pen, but I would just do a black pen and just put a little line above there. So you can see that already we have this amazing face that's starting to build. And now that same stamp, that line stamp, I can actually go down here and actually start to create the neck. And we can also start to actually create the face with it as well. So look how fast and easy this actually is. And then all I'm going to do, this is actually one of the few stamps that is actually designed as a flower. But we can actually start to really just over stamp lots and lots of flowers, and you don't need to be neat. It's, as I said, it's very, very forgiving, really, really forgiving technique. And I'm going to come back to my curly scrolls, and I'm going to actually join these two together. So they were actually designed originally as, which way does it go? That way, I think. They were designed as one stamp. And then I kind of looked at it and I thought, well, actually, it's two stamps together. So you could actually make amazing borders with this. It also makes really great trees and things like that as well. So now we can actually start to bring this in and we can start to create things like sort of like curls for the hair. It's really, you are the designer with these. It's completely up to you. And if you look at that now, I just think that's so fab. The fact that you can do that quickly, and as I said, it's very messy and everything else, but it works because it's meant to look that way. So I'm just gonna start to color this. I'm gonna just soak this a little with water.
So what ink pad did you use there that you can go right away on it with water and it's not smearing?
Yeah, I use the VersaFine, which is kind of my favorite. It works with watercolor so well, and it picks up every single detail, because it's designed to work with those stamps and bring you sorry, I'm just looking for a bit of acetate, to bring you you know, kind of all of that detail from those really fine detail art stamps. So if you use a lot of art stamps, it's really the one to work with as much as you can. So I'm using the markers I'm using are Ecoline markers, and these are actually some of my favorite marker pens. So this is a watercolor ink. I can actually go direct if I want to as well. You probably can't see that color, it's quite a pale color, but we're going to actually build that up. And all I'm doing is using a piece of acetate, which is actually from my stamp. So it's the cover sheet on my stamp. And I'm actually going to just use that as a palette. I have, over the years, I've spent a fortune on palettes, and I always just do this. Usually it's either my craft mat or, you know, just doing this, and it just works. Now, the really great thing about these stamps is, and this technique is, that you really don't need to do that much blending either. So you can be, like I say, not messy, just carefree. I like to call it carefree. So I am going to put a bit more color on here. So we'll get a little bit going in the flowers, and just, you know, you can just add, as you can see, I'm not being careful at all, and I can go back and add more in here if I want to. I'm going to actually use a purple. This is ultramarine violet, and the really great thing about this color is that it's really great for shading. So we can actually shade around the eyes, and I've just noticed I've not done her eyes. So one of the things that I would suggest is color her eyes first. And the reason for that is, if you actually leave the eyes uncolored, it'll kind of look a bit strange until you do that. I often forget to actually color the pupils in. So until you actually do the black pupils, it kind of doesn't look like eyes, and she'll look a little bit odd. But it makes such a difference because you suddenly get that wow. So I'm going to use the violet, and we're just going to create a little bit of shading, and just a little bit under the neck there, and just to pick it out a little bit in the flowers. And then again, I'm going to come in with my pink here. And we're really not, you know, we're not bothered. We just kind of want that color to kind of go into place. So just turn that round. So I'm just going to get some pink. So this is a really bright color. It's a little bit scary. And then I'm just going to wet her cheeks a little bit. And I've got just a bit of tissue here, a bit of paper towel. And then I'm going to come in and actually make her cheeks really pop. And then just come back in and blend that right out, and then just dab to get rid of that excess, so you're not going in too heavy. And I tend not to go direct onto the paper with my markers too much, especially if I've got a really bright color like this, because obviously you want to have a little bit of control. I'd rather kind of come back and add more than take it away. It's always a little bit difficult taking it away. And then we're just going to add a little bit onto the lips there. Again, just dab that off so you get a little bit, you can take a little bit more off. And I'm going to actually use those same colors. So you can see I've used a very, very limited amount of colors, and I'm not really going to add any other colors onto this other than that. So what I would do is keep blending that. As I said, you can actually add more flowers if you wanted to. So in here, we've got some gaps. So I would kind of probably be nice to bring one into her cheek there. And you can literally go as far as you want with that. And it, like I said, it's a complete recipe and it's your own recipe. You would look at those stamps and see something completely different. So I actually had one that I kind of half did earlier just to save a little bit of time. So you can see that this one is completely different, well, quite different to this one. And that's what I love about it, is that you almost can't create the same thing twice. It comes in totally different. And the only thing that I've done differently is that I actually have stamped out those flowers and then cut them out and then actually just mounted them and decoupaged them on the top here. And then the other thing that I would do that I think is really cute is just to actually, there's a heart in there, and I've actually created a butterfly from it. So just by stamping 2 hearts together, and I'm just going to cut that out just to show you. And I've only really got half a butterfly here. It could do with a couple of extra pieces on, but you could actually add that in there, and then that would look really nice in her hair. And then just to give you a completely different look again, as I was kind of prepping this earlier, I thought, oh, it would be really nice to do in Christmas colours and all those blue wintry colours. So on this one, it's exactly the same, again, just using different colours. And this time I left the little flowers quite white and open because I needed a little bit of contrast. That's just one thing to say is on this, make sure that you actually go into all of these little circles. I don't know if you can see, but there's lots of little circles in this swirl stamp, and go in with your white pen and actually pick out some of those circles because it makes a really big difference. And that's it really. So it was, I just kind of wanted to show you that and then show you some of the other things that you can actually make. So this is, let me get those out of the way. So this is a completely different take, but again, the same principle, but this time all these flowers are made with these same stamps. So the same stamps in the set, again, a nice big butterfly here, you know, little hearts here that are, and all of these are created, the leaves are created as well. And then to show you sort of some other things, you can go, like I said, it's all about your own imagination. So this particular one I designed around the eyes, but you can actually have the eyes closed as well. And I absolutely love this. This is my favorite, just to not even have the eyes open. And then just to show you a couple of other things, because to me, the thing that's really stands out about the Stamp Soup is how different everything is that you create. So then we have these really cute little toadstools. So if you're into all of that kind of look, which, you know, anybody who knows polka doodles knows this is like our thing. So again, completely different. And again, these are all the same stamps. So we've got leaves, we've got petals in here. You know, all of these are actually in sets. And then we've got another one, which again, completely different. And again, this is that big flower petal here. And then we've got a slightly different one. This is what we've used for the mushrooms. And just some very simple masking. You can see there, that's the flower we used on the other one. And again, all of these curly scrolls, which we've used for the face on the actual demo, is all here and everything is included. So it's just a fabulous system to really, really open up your imagination and really go for it and do something and to not be scared. That's the thing I kind of find with crafters, is that, you know, sometimes we really struggle for new ideas, and it's about my thing is, you know, you must play around, and I think these stamps hopefully really encourage that. So I think that's kind of oh, I wanted to show you this little cutie as well. So again, this is the same stamp, so that big flower petal, and I've actually stamped it twice, and all these little pieces are actually all in there. The branch was created with that long swirly, it's like a stick. Oop, that one. So I created the branch with that, and again, just that same little flower. And then here we've got something completely different that's a little bit girly, and again another flowery one. So you can see how everything is completely different. So that's it. I hope you liked it.
Well, that's amazing. I cannot believe that that's all made from those stamps, and like you said, it's just kind of your imagination. So
yeah, it is.
Is it possible to get your face back on there for our closing here, Nikki?
Oh, I left.
You left.
I left. Hang on, let me join again.
Nikki, I have a question. You've created some beautiful cards there, and they look fantastic, and especially with the blending that you've done. Is there any way to protect your work once you've done that? And obviously, because it's card, in case it gets water damaged or anything like that?
Yeah. Oh, hang on. Chris, help me.
There's two of you.
You need to turn one off.
The world can't take two Nikki Halls, that's for sure.
No, they can't. One's enough.
One is plenty.
Get rid of that one.
Hi there.
If you knew the trauma we'd had today over the camera situation. Oh, we don't need.
How do you turn it off?
We're seeing you right now.
There we go.
There we
I
go.
removed him.
Sorry.
So what was the question again, Craig?
Yes. Sorry, what was the question again, Craig?
So there's a couple of questions. Most important one, will you have a Canadian supplier? But I think you supply direct, don't you?
Yes, we do, yeah.
Fantastic. That answers Darling's question. The other one was, you've created some really fantastic cards there with some intricate details, some fantastic blending, and their cards, they're brilliant. My question was, how do you protect that from damage, or in case it gets, you drop some water on it, or if you give that away, somebody gets it wet, they've ruined that massive artwork that you just created. How can you protect that?
Okay, there's two ways I think really to do it. The first one, which is just nice and cheap and cheerful, if you're just making it for a card and it's not a piece of art, you know, that you kind of want to keep forever, I would just actually use a really cheap hairspray and just spray it from about 6 to 12 inches away, and that will just protect it. It'll just put a nice coating on it, it'll protect it. The other way is with an artist fixative, which is a better long-term solution, and it's more or less a similar process. You can get that in a can, and it's in dollars, I don't know what it would be, but it's not expensive. It lasts for quite a long time, and you literally just spray it and it'll fix everything in place, so it'll just protect it for you as well. The other thing that you could do is you could use something like a matte medium. So like a matte, which is, if anybody's not used it before, it's like a matte gesso, and you just literally coat it, paintbrush it on, and it'll actually dry to a transparent matte finish, or you can even get a gloss one as well. But the matte one generally is a nicer one, I find, and it gives you a much thicker coating as well, and that'll protect it as well. So if you ever wanted to do anything, and you were doing anything for home decor, if you wanted to alter something, if you were working on MDF, if you wanted to make coasters, anything like that, I would use the medium and kind of go down that route. But anything, if it's like a piece of artwork on paper or on canvas, probably the artist fixative is the one that I would use.
See, I've heard of all of them apart from hairspray.
Yeah,
really?
Yes.
Yeah, hairspray is a really good one,
No.
especially if you're card making and you don't you just want to stop someone from getting things, you know, like in card making when you're using mica powders or you know, kind of anything that's a powder. What are all the things we use? I was trying to, you know, if we're stenciling, anything like that like distress oxides at the minute are really popular. But they, you know, because of that chalk finish, they can rub off. So yeah, just spray it with hairspray and it will protect it. It's not going to be, sorry,
I was saying, you just have to be, just to let people know, you just have to be very careful with hairspray, not to go too mad with it. And it's quite far away, isn't it? Whereas some of it, it's far away from the actual object that you're spraying.
Yeah, I'd probably kind of do it from about that distance. So probably about 12, you know, 10 to 12 inches is probably about right. You want a nice fine mist. You don't want to actually soak what you're covering. And a fine mist will do it anyway, because, you know, there's millions of particles in a hairspray. And don't go for, you know, your most expensive. The cheapest of the cheap is usually works better because it's kind of got a bit more of that stuff in it that you want to coat it with. So
the stuff that you
get they've got less water in the cheap
lacquer.
Ones. So, yeah.
What's it called? Pound World or your dollar stores? I think it's called the Pound World or Pound Land. Or
we have Poundland and
yeah. Well, that was wonderful. A lot of people are looking where to purchase. So thank you, Craig, for putting the website on there as well for Nikky, so people can look to see where they can get more of your product and get some more inspiration. I've been to your website and it's just beautiful, colorful, and very inspirational. So
thank you. Well, if there are any retailers out there, they just need to get in touch with us. We do have a wholesale website, which is completely separate. So they just need to get in touch with us and we'll set them up with a wholesale account.
Oh, that would be wonderful. That would be wonderful. Well, thank you so much. Any last words, Craig? Just, you know, a bit of inspiration for the industry, you know?
A bit of inspiration for the industry. As I said before, I know we're all going through a really difficult time at the moment, but look at the positives. For businesses, it's really a time to change and look at how to adapt and pivot your business. And that's exciting. It's going to be a really good Christmas and a good 21, as long as you're able to adapt and change. So that's exciting stuff to get hold of. As consumers, oh my God, you have access to a plethora of information and inspiration. I've just posted on the chat here that your community just got a lot bigger via the power of the internet, via the power of the web. You're listening to Nikky here from the UK, and now she's able to get you products from the UK to Canada, to around the world. And there are lots of businesses out there that are willing to do that now. So again, the industry it's a great place to be right now. I know there's so much going on, and it's really bad for me to say it's a great place to be. But if you get where I'm coming from, so it is inspiring, and it is positive. If you are a business and you are struggling, please do contact me at the association. We can help you. If you're crafters, please shop local. Ask about the small independents, people like Nikky that are doing it from her garden shed and you know, want your business and will help you and engage with you. So again, it's a great time to be in this industry and this community. So again, Audrey, thank you ever so much for inviting me to say my piece. And Nikky, it was great watching you.
Well, thank you both for being on the show. This has been fabulous, and I hope that we continue our UK connection and definitely get more people involved from all over the world. Like you said, it's a small, I mean, the creative art industry is a huge industry, and now it's that much smaller that we can all connect this way. So thank you again, Nikky, and thank you for Craig for being on the show, and have a great weekend.
Thank you. Thanks,
all
everybody.
Right. Yep. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
That was really great. Sorry, we've gone over. The time just got away from us. I had lots more for today's show, but we'll put that off till next week's show. I see that we are a little over there, but I think those have been watching it thoroughly enjoyed Craig and Nikki and all those. Yeah, I know Ruth had mentioned, and I was with you, Ruth, that when she was getting that little piece and she was making it like to put in their hair, I was thinking as well, like a bow to put on her neck or something like that. So very neat how everybody can interpret all those pieces she had in a different way and how you could use them. So neat. And also, Ruth, I do like and I was going to mention it to them. I'm sure they'll watch it again. The loot from the boot. That is a good one, Ruth. And I've always thought that would be kind of neat to do those boot sales over here, or the junk from the trunk. So thank you again, everybody, for watching. Just a reminder again, tomorrow, which is Friday, let me see, what is tomorrow? The October 23rd and Saturday, October 24th, we have our Pin It Canada virtual live event. It is going to be starting at noon Eastern tomorrow on our Facebook page, Pin It Canada. We have some incredible presentations for you. It's going to be 4 hours on Friday, 4 hours on Saturday. I'll quickly run through the list. We have Ecstasy Craft, General Pencil with Kathy Hansen, Renia, Emerald Creek, Joe Rotella from Create and Craft, Tracy Morrow Design with Deco Art, Anna Marie Oak Design, Stamp Art, Stempendous with Deb Antonick, Pinso, Jose from Pinso, Cadre Expert, Demco with Natasha Wachier, D's Epoxy with Diana Steer, FM Brush with Jill Fritz Henry and her granddaughter, and Linda O'Connell. It is going to be a jam-packed show you do not want to miss. So please view tomorrow. And if you're not able to watch the Audrey Live or the other shows, yes, please, you can watch the repeat afterwards on Facebook or go to our YouTube channel, which is Pin It Canada. Thank you, everybody, again for watching the show. Make sure you take care of yourself, take care of each other, and have a great week. It's Audrey from Audrey Live. Thank you.